Good afternoon. This is Reverend Sylvester Hampton, one man of God unfiltered. Welcome to my channel. It's been a while. It's been a few days since we talked to one another, and I would like to let you know that it's nice to see you once again. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for sharing this time with me, and it's good to be with you once again. Before we get started, let's do our thing with the subscribe, thumbs up, and the notification bell, and also share the channel with someone that you think highly of. This lesson is going to be every man. Every man is entitled Every Man. It takes the place of a Every Man is a title of an African folk tale. A folk tale is a tale that's been verbally passed down from generation to generation, and it tells you verbally of a story that talks about history, a foretale or a story that's passed down from generation to generation, verbally passed down, and it's usually something that is going to lessons learned or something like that, and it's a foretale. And the reason why it's called Every Man is it has different categories of different folk tales that's passed down, and every folk tale has a different lesson or morality that everyone can relate to. So Every Man is a title that has many folk tales that has entitled for Every Man. I've encountered the play Every Man or foretale and Every Man when I attended South Carolina State, and I encountered this particular Every Man folktale in my humanities class, and I thought it was very, very interesting, and it was something that will stick with you for the rest of your life, because I never forgot it, and I want to share it with you today. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I was telling her that she was experiencing health problems and everything, and I was telling her that she was telling me about some of the events that she was going through, and she was going to the doctors, and she was allowing the doctors to tell her, take these pills, and I asked her, I said, well, did the pills work? No, but they told me to take them anyway, and I took them, but they really didn't work. I said, well, you need to tell them that the pills don't work. You need to tell them that tell them that those pills don't work. You need to get more pain pills with better medication. You tried those. You don't let them send you out of the office and just tell you any old thing. I said, you need to be defiant. Those doctors work for you. But, a lot of times these doctors take advantage to us senior citizens, because they can just take advantage of us and just send us on our way. And I asked her, I said, well, what about your children? Do they go with you? And I said, you need to take your children with you to the doctors and allow them to ask the doctor questions, and you need to tell the children to be your advocate, and that way the doctors just can't overlook you, because doctors take advantage of the senior citizens and just get us out of the way and just give us anything. They don't listen to us because we're just a soft target that they just take advantage of and just give us anything so they can get rid of us. And so, but our children are not going to allow them to do that, because our children will act as our advocates and ask questions for us. And I said, you need to take your children with you. I remember when I was in Washington, D.C., I started taking my son and daughter to my hospital appointments with me. And they came with my in my doctor's office with me, and I told the doctor, this is my son and daughter, and they're going to be sitting in my appointments with me, and they're going to ask me questions. They're going to ask you some questions, and just anything. I have no secrets from them. Just tell them anything that you need to tell me, and it worked out pretty good, because it made me feel that I didn't have to even worry about it anymore, because my children had my back, and they were asking questions that I never would have asked. So I just relaxed and put myself in their hands. And parents, you need to remember that we're not as swift as we used to. Let the children take care of you, because you took care of them their whole lives. So it's time for you to let them take care of you. Let them go to the doctor's appointments with you, because they're going to be your advocate. And they'll do a good job. They'll do a good job. And it made me remember this African fable, folklore, Folktale, in Every Man. It said that parents got to be very careful about how you treat your children, because eventually you will be their children. If you treat your children bad, your children will treat you bad, because they learn. If you treat your children bad, they will learn how to treat their children bad, because of the way you treat them bad. You raise them that way, they're going to raise their children that way. And at the time, it didn't hit me. What it's saying is that eventually, when I mentioned to her, take your children to the doctors with you, because you are going to put your hand in your children, because your children are going to be your advocate. What that means is that, what the Every Man says is that you are going to become your children. Your children are going to become, or the parents are going to become your children. In the Bible, it says that you're a man once and a baby twice, which means that you are an infant at birth, and then you're a man. You grow up to be a man, and then you become a baby again. Which means that when you're in your second childhood, that's when your children at that point are adults, and they're going to be at the point where they're taking care of you. So if you, during your adult stage, train your children to be heathens, and you didn't pay no attention to your children, and you didn't give them the love and affection and take care of them like you should, as a parent should, they are going to treat you how they were raised. That's what that means. That you will become their children. That's what that means. So, if you didn't give them the tools and the love to show love while they were young, as a parent, as a good parent, how in the world are they going to give you the love when you need it, when you become the child too? Does that make sense? That's the fable when Every Man was talking about, that you are going to become the children of your children. So watch out, because how you train your children are going to get an opportunity to be your parent, because how you train them, it's going to be how they're going to treat you. They're going to get an opportunity to treat you the same way, because you are going to be their children at that time, because you're going to be the elderly parent that's going to be in their second childhood, and they're going to be in a position to take care of you. You see how that goes? That came from Every Man. Okay, that's amazing, and it happens, and it makes sense, and it hit me when I was telling my friend to take her children to the doctors with her to let them be her advocate, so that, like, I was showing her what I was doing with my son and daughter when I told them that how I showed her that I used them to go to the doctors with me, and I was just sitting back and relaxing. And I knew they were asking the questions, and they took care of me. And the questions that they were asking, they were my advocates. They made sure that the doctors were giving me the right medication and stuff like that. And that was good. That's how you know that you did a good job with your children, because they remember how you raised them and how you took care of them when they were young. They remember how you did with them, so they're going to do with you the way you did with them. That's the beauty of it, because what goes around comes around. Amen. So what you give out is going to come back to you in return. That's what that African fable, folktale is talking about in every man. Okay, there was and it makes sense. That stuff passed down from generation to generation through verbal means, which means that if you dog your children, don't worry, they're going to get a chance to dog you right back. That's the reason why a lot of people in these senior citizens' homes, if they dog their children, they wonder why in the world they don't have anybody coming to visit them. They're wondering why in the world do my kids don't pay any attention to me when I get old and everything. No one comes to visit me. Why in the world am I eating cat food or dog food and I'm homeless? Because the way you treated your children. The way you treated your children, and you didn't treat them anything. How in the heck are they gonna treat you? You showed them how you want to be treated because of the way you treated them. They don't have anything because you didn't give them anything. Amen. So it shows you that you got to be a parent. You got to give them compassion. You got to give them love, so that they would have love and compassion in their heart for their mother or their father. Amen. That's how that works. That's how that works. I'm not saying advocating that you're going to be using them as a retirement plan, nothing like that. But I'm saying that when in time of need, that you can rely on them to go to the doctor's office for you to become your advocate, to watch out for you. I'm not stating that they're going to you're going to be living with them or anything like that. But I'm talking about in need that they will treat you how you treat them when they were young, and they will give back what you gave them. That's how that works. That's how what every man is saying in the African folk tale. Now, there was another aspect of that went along with that story. You remember Bobby Womack's song "Nobody Wants You When You're Down and Out." It's about this man that was flying high. He won the lottery. He had all this money and buying everybody's drinks, and everybody wanted to be his friend when he had the money. And he was partying hardy, and everybody wanted to be his friend. And he was buying everybody drinks and everything, and when his money started running low, nobody wanted to have anything to do with him, and when he was in need, he didn't have no place to go because nobody wanted to be around him. Well, this next folk tale has to deal with how you deal with people throughout your life. And it deals with every man that has to deal with what you do for throughout your life, and how you conduct and how you deal with people, and the good deeds that you deal with, and how you are in the world. It's about this person that's very selfish and thinks of himself all the time, splurge money and everything. He buys everybody everything, and he's nice to everybody, but when it comes time for him, when he gets down in his luck and everything, he buys drinks, and everybody comes to him for a free handout. They love him, but when he gets down in his luck, nobody wants to be around him. So when he looks, when now that he is coming to the end of his life, he has to find somebody to come die with him, to go to God and give God a report on him, to be an advocate for him, to give God a report so that he can make it into heaven. But he went to all his friends that he treated good and on earth and everything, and nobody was going to do that. Nobody was going to be willing to go die with him. And so all his friends that he was partying hardy with and paid rent with and paid their mortgage and gave him money to do this or that, pay their car note and everything, none of them wanted to go and be an advocate for him, to talk to God to let him go into heaven. Nobody. None of his friends. So here he is on his hospital bed, and he couldn't find anybody to be an advocate for him, to talk to God to say that he needs to go to heaven. There was only one person that was willing to do that. It was an old lady that was walking gently with a cane, and she looked like she couldn't walk hardly and everything. She was weak and frail and everything. And she said to him, "I will go die with you to let them know who you were, and let God know what you did, and I will be your advocate." He says, "You will?" She says, "Yes." He says, "Well, what is your name? What do I call you?" She says, "My name is Good Deeds." Good Deeds. And so it tells you that the only person that will go with you to your grave to be an advocate for you in front of God, that will die for you, die with you, is good deeds. Your good deeds. The reason why that lady was so frail and almost dead was because he didn't do many good deeds in his life. He partied hardy and gave all his buddies money to party, drink, and had a party and had a good old time in his life. He didn't do much good deeds at all. He didn't help out the poor. He didn't feed the hungry. He didn't do anything. He did not visit the sick and shed-ins. He did not go to church. He didn't have time for all of that. The only thing he had time for was to party and give his money out and squandered his money. He didn't have time to do the good deeds and put his money to charity and give his money in love. He only partied. And that's the reason why he didn't feed his good deeds. That's the reason why the good deeds were frail and hardly any, and went practically hungry and was practically weak and almost dead because he didn't feed good deeds good enough. That's the reason why good deeds was frail and almost dead. So The moral of the story is that you gotta feed good deeds. You gotta do your good deeds, because good deeds is the only thing that will be willing to go to your grave with you. To when you go to the pearly gates, when you get to that gate, that's your good deeds that are going to be the only thing that will speak for you, will speak volumes for you. Amen. That is the two fables that I remember in Every Man, the African fable of Every Man that I remember in college. And I just want to share that with you. There are many stories of Every Man and African fables that can be shared and are very interesting. I just wanted to share that with you. But the two lessons that I want to let you know about is to let your children go with you to the hospital, and you'll be surprised. You've raised them good. You have, and they will do they'll do a good job. Let them talk to those doctors for you, and they're not going to let the doctors send you away and let you and tell you any old kind of thing. You'll be surprised. Those kids are prepared to take care of their mom and their daddy. Amen. You'd be surprised. You've raised some good kids. You'd be surprised. Just give them the opportunity. Give them the chance, and relax. Relax. We know that you have been so used to taking care of them. Let them take care of you sometime. Let them go with you, and you just put yourself in their hands for a little while at the doctor's appointment. Okay? Let them shine. Let them give an opportunity to show you something. Amen. All right. I just want to share that with you. I want to let you know that I'm still standing on the battlefield, and I'm still standing here for you, men. I am a man's minister, advocate for the men, and I know that we are. God has left dominion on the face of this earth for us and to us, and we are going to do it. Amen. We're doing a fantastic job. All we got to do is know and step into our authority. And once we step into our authority and stop trying to get that institution of marriage and throw that out and get into the holy matrimonial thing, nothing can stop us. Amen. Let's get back to the way God wanted us to get to. Let's use his blueprint to life, and nothing's going to stop us, because he has made it a way, and he has, in his way, and his blueprint is the way. Amen. I want you to know I love you. Nothing you can do about it. Until the next time, this is Reverend Sylvester Hampton, one man of God, unfiltered. Till the next time. Love you. Bye-bye.